Hey guys, if you're thinking about pursuing FRM in 2026, let me tell you why this might just be the perfect program for you guys. Let's jump into it. First of all, what is FRM? Financial Risk Management. It's conducted by a body called GARP, Global Association of Risk Professionals, which is based out of the US. Now, FRM has exploded, I say, in demand because the need of risk professionals, finance risk professionals, has been like never before. You know, earlier banks, companies would have to manage risk a little bit, but never at this scale. With the amount of fraud, scams, global problems going on, the need for finance risk professionals has increased, which causes qualifications like this to get a massive advantage in a very short span of time. So with that being said, let me tell you a few points. So point number one, why is this the right time? Why is financial risk in demand right now? Like I mentioned one line earlier, it is because of the global stage we are on. As you see, right, there was COVID recently and now there are geopolitical tensions, and if you see the scale at which global companies are affecting all of us, today you and I are using laptops, phones, subscriptions. We are talking about most of the day-to-day usages of global companies in our hands. All of this is causing more and more global level risk for tons of companies, tons of banks, tons of financial institutions, and that's why, number one, with the problems growing, opportunities come at the same time. Next point, regulators across the globe are tightening compliance requirements. What does that mean? With more chaos, with more growth, with more booming economies, there needs to be more rules, more compliances to not allow the downside to actually be, to take place. A lot of governments, a lot of regulatory bodies, in our case like SEBI, RBI, they're tightening these requirements because you and I might be ethical people wanting to make money the right way, ready to put in a lot of effort, but there is an equally big population who's just trying to take advantage of the system. And for that, these guys, the governments, these kind of high-level institutions, they need finance risk professionals. And third but not the least, India's financial landscape is expanding rapidly like never before. As you guys know, you talk about the scale at which our companies are growing. You talk about our stock markets. You talk about India as an economy. You talk about global companies like you're coming into India because it's, better for them. They get better talent at a cheaper cost, etc. More opportunities for Indians to actually work in these companies. Imagine a company like a JP Morgan from the US. They're growing their presence here in India because they get the talent, and their biggest role right now, one of the biggest roles, is to manage the financial risk. Similarly, you talk about Indian companies, you talk about the banks like Kotak, HDFC, you talk about wealth management companies like Motilal Oswal. All of them are again expanding. More and more reason to hire finance risk professionals. So next question, why FRM? Well, number one, FRM is the gold standard recognized across the globe for finance risk professionals. So already when you take up an FRM kind of a qualification and you go for what we call the CRO position, Chief Risk Officer kind of position, they're absolutely happy that somebody who's come from a FRM qualification has the understanding, has the background, hopefully has the experience to help their company manage risks. Next, FRM is recognized by the top employers across the globe. Once again, talk about any multinational. We have one of our faculties. He was a vice president of National Stock Exchange, the product side. He himself is an FRM along with CFA because he says that at that stage, to manage so much of money for the country in their capacity, understanding risk management is a criteria, not only for himself, but even when he hires, he's very happy if his candidates have qualified for FRM and then applied. In fact, he had told me that his preference is now to hire more and more FRMs. So guys, I hope you got some clarity. We made a detailed video on FRM here. Please check it out if you're more interested, and as always, reach out if you need any more guidance. We're always there for you guys.